Billiken fans, welcome back. It is Zach Miller and Peter Hale. It's the Midtown Madness Podcast. Before we get going, thank you all so much for listening. This is the first episode of, I guess, the new season of the Midtown Madness Podcast, even though we kind of stopped doing seasons. Next 25-26 Billiken season. But, to get ready for that season, whether you're a soccer fan, basketball fan, or you're a fan of every sport, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to get notifications whenever we drop a new episode. Again, thank you all, everyone who has supported us by supporting Two Men in a Garden the past few years. Because of you, Two Men in a Garden are back for the 25-26 season of the Midtown Madness Podcast. We truly can't thank Joel and the team over at Two Men in a Garden enough for helping keep the lights on at Two Men in a Garden. At the Midtown Madness. I'm glad they keep the lights on over at Two Men in a Garden as well, but they keep the lights on over here at the Midtown Madness, so to speak anyway. They are the St. Louis Salsa and Pickle Company. The salsa from mild to screaming hot, hot mango to sugar-free, the pickles from classic dill to a bold and smoky barbecue. Visit them online at twomeninagarden.com and you can shop all your favorite flavors and learn more about Kitchen Hub STL. Don't forget about Kitchen Hub STL. You can follow them on social media at Two Men Salsa on Instagram and Twitter for the latest updates. Pete, I have one question for you. I have one question and a follow-up.
Okay. I'm waiting.
Is Kellen Thames back?
Man, I think we have some video footage that would seem to indicate that, yes, Kellen Thames is indeed back. He looks more than healthy. He looks like a superhero.
Should we watch that together? I feel like we might want to watch that together.
I think we should.
All right.
We should. Are you going to pull this up now?
I'm going to pull this up.
Yeah, Zach, that was electric.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. First of all, I have a confession. When I watched that video, and Kellen Thames is wearing the hat, yeah. I thought he had like one of those State Farm net hats on that they give out at the at like when they do the college game day.
Yeah, but it's like a spider web or something.
Yes, it is.
So this is now, if you follow us on Twitter, or did we put it on? We didn't put it on Instagram yet, but
no.
We retweeted. The account is at Bobby Edwards with an extra S at the end. So just like it sounds, but with one more S. And the video is Kellen Thames is back. He posted it early afternoon on Sunday, August 24th. It's a fantastic clip. Kellen Thames reposted it. We reposted it. People are really, really responding to this thing. We just haven't seen anything like it for a SLU player before.
No, I mean the editing, the music. I mean, I don't even know who that artist is. I've never heard that song. I don't really even like the song, but everything, you bring it all in together, and it's just it's hype. It's hype.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
I'm so excited because I haven't felt this is exciting.
It is, Zach. And I mean, like, Kellen is one of these guys that, like, now everybody is so, like, we want to be all in on him, but everybody's so cautious because we just have not gotten a full, unadulterated, like, full season, healthy look at him yet. Like, we just haven't had the full Kellen Thames experience. And it seems like we might finally be on the cusp of that. And I think everyone is just so nervous. They're having a hard time saying, like, this is it. This is the breakout season. This is when we really get our guy.
I'm just very nervous all of a sudden that I'm going to have to deal with like copyright on YouTube now that I played the music on that video. No, I mean, this is what I think you and I, we stuck it out there. We stuck our necks out there. We called it.
Yeah.
I think this is, I mean, I don't think, I'm so glad to hear that he just sweats a lot. But the underlying issue, I don't think you always have to find an underlying issue.
Yeah.
And so I think it's okay really here. Like, again, you sweat a lot. I've dealt with like that sort of, I've been to that corner of the internet where there's electrolytes and salt and sugar and replenishing lost vitamins that are lost in sweat. And like, I've been to that corner and it's all like, there's a ton out there.
Yeah.
That can be done for somebody who just sweats a lot.
Yeah. I can't say I have been to that corner of the internet, but I'll take your word on it. And
yep.
Yeah. It's weird how kind of tight-lipped everybody was about it for so long. And then when you finally get to it, it's kind of like, oh, this seems really kind of weird and basic, but I could see where they're probably testing for everything under the sun and really just confused at what was going on and why he wasn't able to perform. So I hope everything has been fully addressed, accounted for, and he's ready to go. And because his potential is just so sky high. And I know there are people who say, like, even if he's 100%, he might not be that fifth starter just because of the lineup and his skill set, and maybe it's redundant with somebody else in the lineup or whatever. But like, the point is, we have the depth and we have the talent to go with so many different looks. We can adjust based on the opponent. And he's just
without a doubt.
He's that kind of player who just gives you a completely. He gives you another option, right? You can go big, you can go small.
Yeah.
You can. I'm so excited for what he brings. I don't care if he's a starter or not. I trust this coach, this staff to use him correctly, fully healthy, and man, oh man, am I excited for this season after that.
And he also brings that kind of instant energy. Mm-hmm. Even if he's not that fifth starter, like you said, he brings depth. And let me tell you, he's going to bring defense. If nothing, even if we're talking that Kellen Thames hasn't progressed in any positive way offensively, he hasn't added anything to his game, he still has that defense that we saw as a freshman.
He does.
And he's still got that athleticism. And he's still got that quickness. And he was, I think when he stepped onto campus here, I felt like he was a much more advanced TJ Hargrove. And I think he is TJ Hargrove if TJ had the same four coaches throughout high school. Like he was, Kellen Thames was fit. Like TJ Hargrove was a little bit of a baby deer as a freshman.
Yeah.
And he's still a good player, and he was still very, very good as a freshman. But Kellen Thames, he seems to be fit into his body at this point. Again, Kellen Thames is a junior by age now. So, yeah, I mean, I think Kellen Thames, when he stepped on court on campus here at SLU, he was already in control of kind of his size, his weight, his build, he didn't have two left feet. He was very, very coordinated to go along with his physical gifts. And I think, I just think even that Kellen Thames that we saw freshman year is still a major boost to this team as a depth piece.
The thing about him and Hargrove as a comparison is Hargrove was so often forced to play a 4 or a 5 in high school just because of the composition of their roster and yeah, like you said, the coaching turnover as well. Whereas Thames was often playing a 1 or a 2. And so they kind of came into college, even though, similar size when they came in. I think Thames is ultimately taller. They just kind of had different backgrounds of like where they had been playing, positionally speaking. And I think given that he's ending up taller and came in with more of a guard experience, a pure guard experience, I think there's a little more upside potential for Thames and like maybe just a little more polish. But again, we had Hargrove was really he was a workhorse. He was a durable player. Like he never really was out for any meaningful stretch of time in his career. His full 4-year career at SLU. Thames, on the other hand, we just have not seen him yet, and so we really say like who he is. Like I just feel like it's just.
I think Billiken fans should absolutely be excited for what Kellen Thames can bring to the squad. I mean, I think fans were excited without Kellen Thames being 100% healthy. So, I mean, just to add in 100% healthy, that's another junior aged player that comes off the bench as a depth piece. That's experience. That is experience on a team that is it is a very, and I don't want to say piecemeal because I do think this team has a lot of talent, but I mean in a way that like there's a ton of roster turnover. So any experience is welcome, really. That's just a major plus.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about the video though. We got to get Bobby Edwards on here to talk about this video. I mean, it's unbelievable. I want to know more. I hope they're doing a whole season worth of like a reality show. I need a reality show.
We will find out more from him soon. I would doubt that is in the works, but are we going to get more of these player like kind of one-off things? Yeah. That would be cool.
I think so. He is a freelancer, so it seems like this was just a Kellen and him thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
but I mean, like, if you're another player and you're like, "Wow, can somebody do this for me? This is worth a few bucks."
I need it for me in the podcasting. Just
podcasting. Yeah, I want a video of me, really working an Excel spreadsheet or something.
Yes.
Making me look amazing.
Hit that Command X or whatever. I don't know. I don't. Let's talk about recruiting. The next generation.
Yeah, we had a visit this weekend, the 21st to the 23rd. So I guess that's Thursday to Saturday. Collin Ross, the big man from Spire Academy up in northeastern Ohio, was on campus. Elite rim protector, really nice, quickly developing big man, good length. He's got that kind of skill set that could develop into Schertz's system. Like you could see him as a trigger man. You could see him in a few different roles in this offense because he can step out and shoot too. He made a really nice Instagram post with like 10 photos from his visit. They look great, really professional. He looks great in Billiken blue. I don't think we got a commitment just yet, but he's a major priority and we are a contender. He does have visits scheduled over the next 3 weekends to VCU, Dayton, and Santa Clara. So if we don't land him, Zach, this one has the potential to be very, very painful. I don't know if I could see a guy pick VCU or Dayton over us.
Well, so this is it's going to be Santa Clara. Like this feels like he's like He's like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
3 serious basketball schools, or I head to the beach.
Okay, I'm going to push back on that a little bit because Santa Clara is not a beach.
No,
school.
I'm not saying he knows. He knows where the beach is.
It does have palm trees on campus.
I realize that Santa Clara is more like north, isn't it?
It's Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley. So it's closer to the bay than the beach. It's a beautiful campus. It's an amazing place. You're right in the heart of Silicon Valley. You're a business major there. You probably have some pretty good opportunities moving forward. But they did produce Steve Nash. For yes. What you're saying is not a serious basketball school. They have had some talent come out of there.
Have I told you that San Jose, to me, has the charm of Earth City?
Yes. Yeah. San Jose is just not. It's not special. It's really expensive. But if it weren't for the industry, it wouldn't be. I mean, it's the most basic, boring. There's not much to it for a city that big. Completely agree.
Closing the loop on Jasiah Jervis.
Yeah, you got it. He's out of New York City. Really good player. From Archbishop. Why am I forgetting the name of the
Stepniak?
Thank you, Stepanak. He named his top 8. SLU wasn't in it. He's a 6'5" shooting guard, originally offered by SLU about a year ago, and has really blown up since then. So his top 8 is all Big Ten, SEC, and ACC. He's become like a legitimate top 50. And we never really seemed like we were in the mix, but offered him and one of his teammates last year. The other teammate is more of an A10 level player, I think.
Archbishop Lee Stepniak.
Sure.
Do you not remember Lee Stepniak?
No.
Oh, I don't know. He played for the Blues for like 2 years. Give me a break.
I thought you meant like an archbishop.
No, I don't know any archbishops. I mean,
all right, we're good.
Jesus. Let's talk about women's soccer. Actually, I could not watch these games without being painfully reminded about what I witnessed last night in the MLS.
Oh man, that's so yeah. Obviously, this season has been a rough one for City. Blown a lot of leads late, lost or tied a lot of games late that should have been points, and I think this was the worst. I mean, it was the worst.
The only thing stopping it from being Deckinger is that it didn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of like the season.
No, it wasn't a playoff game or anything like that, but
it was just blatant bullshit. It was just unbelievable. I've seen so much shit happen against SLU.
Yeah.
And none of them made me sit back and go, oh, there's nothing there. There's nothing you can, like, this is just, they're doing this to get Mueller a pet. Like, it's not bad refereeing. I don't even know if it's like paid corruption or match fixing. They're just doing it. They just did it because for the TikTok.
And that was in what?
For the publicity.
14th minute of stoppage time?
Yeah.
So yeah, to make that phantom call 14th minute of stoppage time to hand them an easy PK for the win is pretty inexcusable. Did you see Alexei Lalas defending it, by the way?
Of course he did.
That guy,
he's a contrarian. Whatever.
He compared it to a speeding ticket. You're like, this is not a good analogy at all, guy.
No, the only analogy, and we're going to get into SLU soccer. I'm sorry, everybody, but this has been pissing me off. The only analogy that is applicable from another sport is in cycling.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sprinting, if there's a sprint finish and one cyclist is in front, he's on the lead out, and the sprinter's hiding in the weeds. The guy who wants to go for the attack is hiding in the weeds, and he comes out around and he goes forward, and instead of sticking with his line where he's, shaking back and forth, sprinting towards line, he cuts over and clips this back wheel on the front wheel of a guy that he's passing. Mm-hmm. That is, and you know whose fault that fucking is?
Whose?
It's the fucking guy who changed his line.
Yeah.
Like, it's
the guy in front, in other words.
The guy that overtook. Like
that actually that is the best analogy I've heard so far for this.
Yes, there's
situation.
no reason. Like, he's not going for the ball. He's not trying to play the man. The guy tries to cut in front of him. He initiates the contact and he goes down. Like, I just don't understand why that's called at all. That's not, don't give that call. Just don't make the call. Anyway, 4-1 loss for the Billikens at Penn State on Thursday, August 21st. This was a tough one, kind of to watch. Because the announcers, it's always tough to watch away announcers, but Penn State goes up 2-0 and they take that lead into halftime, and you really kind of felt like it was over. It just didn't seem like the Billikens were going to be able, with this kind of high roster turnover, this not a rebuild, not a reload. It's just kind of a not to steal Travis Ford's remix bullshit. It's a Billiken roster that lacks cohesion, I guess, or continuity.
Yeah, it's less continuity than we've seen in quite a while, at least 4 years or so, and it'll come together over the course of the season, but they're still finding their way. Yeah. They did have some good chances early. They just couldn't capitalize. You had Larson, Chire, Howard all showing off their speed, but instead Penn State got on the board first with a quick counter. The second goal, Zach, came on miscommunication between Emma Parker and a defender, and the Nittany Lions capitalized with a turnover and goal. But I thought Parker was still pretty solid overall in the first half, and it could have been worse. But at the same time, this wasn't entirely a lopsided game either.
No, and Audrey Smith cut the lead in half with a goal in the 52nd minute on an assist from Caroline Chire. This was a really nice long cross from the wing that made it past two defenders and slid. And Smith slid to slot it home. I don't think you can overstate how good of a ball this was. It's one of those FIFA crosses that never works, and you just like throw your controller because you're like, why didn't that pass connect? That totally should have connected. But in real life, if you try that, it's impossible. You're never going to make that pass.
Right.
But it cleared three Penn State defenders. I'll give her three defenders, including the one that was on her. Just an impressive cross and an even better finish. I mean, it just really was picking a spot on the Penn State goalkeeper. But Penn State was able to answer with goals in the 61st and 64th minute. Pete, the Nittany Lions didn't need any help from the officials in this match. They really didn't. They did get it in this one. Again, I was like watching for the second time in 3 days. Mm-hmm. Just some weird, like, I don't even know what he's looking at on this replay. Major what the fuck moment for me.
Yeah, so Jordan Gary had her foot stepped on in the box. It was late in the game. They called a foul, but no penalty.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. It's confusing, right?
Yeah, it was. I'm not sure what he didn't see there.
Yeah.
The result is probably holding regardless, but I still felt that Gary earned that PK. And, regardless if the game's out of reach, this isn't Vietnam. There are rules here.
Yeah, it didn't help, though. Yeah. SLU just wasn't sharp enough in their passing on the counter, so they didn't help their own case there. But overall, Zach, the stats were pretty balanced here. Shots were only 14-12 in Penn State's favor. On goal, 10-8. That's a pretty high percentage for both teams. Corners were 5-1 SLU, and then SLU had 10, Penn State had 6. So you don't really see a 4-1 win in those final stats there.
No, I think this game was so wide open. It really was up and down. On the whole, though, like, I don't know if I came away impressed or excited by the Billikens in this one. I mean, it's a 4-1 loss. It's a game I think they should have probably done better in, but I think this game showed kind of an improved level, showed a team with an improved level of skill and size. I thought they were just a bit on the youthful and inexperienced side. I thought SLU competed with Penn State. It's just that Penn State, when they had their opportunities, they didn't miss.
No, they didn't. Clinical, cohesive in that attack. They tested that back line of SLU with diagonal through ball after diagonal through ball. They were able to punish SLU that way. I mean, that's just a team that I think, without looking at all the nitty gritty of their roster turnover,
Nitty gritty.
You can't let that opportunity go by, huh? They looked like a team that was more experienced, not just overall, but playing together. And I think that went a long way. I don't think we play them again next year, but it's one of those things where you wonder if this were to become a yearly series. I don't think the game quite looks like this a year from now.
I would love to get them back on the schedule. Keep that churning year after year. Speaking of keeping them on the schedule, I don't think either of us saw this game going the way it did, and that was a 1-0 win against Mizzou on Sunday the 24th at Herman Stadium. And this goal certainly wasn't scored in a way that we expected either.
No, it just really didn't seem like it was going to be anything in the lead up. It was Riley Howard. She was just kind of dribbling, trying to get rid of a pesky defender and find something. So she and this Mizzou defender kind of bumped. Howard was able to get a little separation, and then the defender came right back around, made physical contact again. Howard finally just kind of forced the ball through her. She kind of like chopped the ball through her legs after a couple of kicks, and then got just enough space to lob a shot in. And it was just this beautiful arc just right over the goalie into the net. The goalie wasn't out of position, wasn't too far off her line or anything like that. She just didn't see anything else developing and decided to go for the goal and got it. It was a really strange goal that you didn't see coming. And oddly enough, Zach, that was it. 5 minutes in, and the scoring for the game was done.
Yeah, I actually took in the first half with Stu on Slugo subscribe to his Substack.
Yes.
And I kind of turned to him and I go, "Oh, that's a goal you see. That's a women's soccer goal." That's just that goal, that looping ball over the top, kind of chipping the keeper into the far side of the net is just it just seems to happen all the time in women's soccer. Mm-hmm. The Billikens had 12 shots to Mizzou 7. Shots on goal were 5-1 Billikens. Corners were 5-4. Mizzou favored. Mizzou fouled twice as much as SLU in this one, 18-9. Pete, Mizzou was certainly a different team today than they were this time last year.
Yeah, but so are the Bills. This game just didn't feel the same at all. SLU went out to their place last year and won 2-0 with a really experienced, dangerous team, and that result felt very much expected. This was a little more, would you say, evenly played overall?
Yeah, I thought. I thought SLU first of all seemed to step off in terms of that cohesive 12-player unit. But this game really felt like one where Mizzou would eventually draw even late. I think SLU in this one does what good programs do, even when they are, not having their best game or not yet up to potential early in the season. They hold on, and it was not as pretty as it could have been. Look, this is a Mizzou team that they uh, you know, when you've built what Katie Shields has built, everyone is going to throw their best at you.
Yeah.
Mizzou is no different. They may be SEC, but they are still the little sister here. In this scenario, they are the little sister. I'm sure there are players on Mizzou who felt that SLU should have recruited them. I'm sure they had a lot to prove. You have players from St. Louis on Mizzou that are playing in front of family and friends. Yes, they can play in front of them at Mizzou, but it means a little something when, you know, you're doing it here in St. Louis and against that program that may or may not have spurned you. So,
yeah, you know, when that's when watching this game, you heard how often Betlack would call out, like, you know, where the player on Mizzou was from, you know, and just looking through their roster, Eureka, Incarnate Word, you keep going through Fort Zumwalt West, Marquette, like all of these local schools, Lafayette, John Burroughs, Coriezu, St. Dominic, Clayton, Timberland, Eureka again, Whitfield. So like there's St. Louis kids, probably that's about half of their roster, right? And yeah, you know, some of those were not prioritized by Katie Shields and her staff. You know, some of them, I don't know. I mean, SLU's certainly been the more successful program over the last 7 or 8 years by far. And it's such a weird thing to say, right? Like, we're playing this SEC team and they are kind of the number 2 here. And it's a great feeling, but it's so weird to hear you say that. They're the little sister. They're the ones who have players with chips on their shoulders. And they're the SEC. It's just, it's a complete reversal of what the power dynamic could and should be and would normally be. And that's really satisfying. The other thing that's really satisfying here, Zach, attendance was announced at 4,097, the third largest crowd for a women's soccer game at Herman Stadium in history. So a really nice turnout. You know, get that back to school thing. You got great weather. They had some inflatables set up on the practice field for kids to go out and enjoy. So they made it a family-friendly environment, and people took advantage of it and got to see a win, and that's great.
Yeah, it was outstanding out there. The weather was incredible. There were a lot of people there. A lot of people. I was curious to see what would change after the women's game, and I just, you know, I think the only thing would be a Saturday night would have been ideal for this, but you know, it's what are you going to do? They did their best and they got, you know, I mean, we were closing in on a sellout.
Yeah, the other thing I'll say is making this a doubleheader with the men was really cool. And I know, a Saturday night would have been ideal. Sunday, whatever, fine. You know, you're not going to retain the whole crowd the whole time on a Sunday. So the men's game, you know, by the second half the crowd was a little more sparse than during the women's game. But what I will say is these are 2 headliners, right, on a doubleheader. When you look at the doubleheader that men's and women's basketball are doing this year, it's like lower division teams back to back. So it's just like you get as many people in the door as we can because these games really don't mean anything. But in this one, it was like the men are playing a top 5 national team and the women are playing the big SEC program an hour and a half down the road and the big other in-state school. And so these are big deal games on the schedule, 2 of the biggest for each of these teams this season. So to have those back to back at home on a beautiful night, you can't ask for much more.
No, it was a great night, and I mean it was it felt good to be back for a regular season contest on St. Louis University's campus at Herman Stadium. The field looked worse for wear though, man. It was in rough shape.
Interesting.
It wasn't as bad as Mizzou's.
I never trust my eye on that because, you know, I'm always, I've watched the women's game mostly on my phone.
Yeah.
The men's game, I did go down. I was, you know, the kids were asleep by then. I went down and had it on TV for the most part, but yeah, I never really trust my eye as much on that. So I guess it didn't look perfect, but what are you gonna do? It didn't look as bad as the one that what'd you call it the other night? A dog track,
It was a dog track. Yeah, Mizzou's field was horrendous.
Yeah.
The other night against Youngstown State. Um, let's talk about this weekend. Let's final thoughts for the women this weekend. Obviously, the back line was an issue against Penn State. They got kind of, through ball after through ball after through ball, Pete.
Yeah, they did. Lots of opportunities there.
Yeah.
But Zach, I think the back line is just a work in progress, right? I mean,
Yeah.
she's just going to be testing different combinations early in the season to see what kind of is going to stick. And so, yeah, you're gonna see them get those opportunities in the short term. But just hope that they sort of get comfortable with whoever is going to rise to the top of this group and sort of settle into something that's going to work back there. I don't think that's really a position, the middle back, where you can just kind of rotate all season long.
No, I think what has been the kind of the three pillars almost of kind of the struggle, I guess, at Penn State and a little bit in that Mizzou game. Even though they come away with a win, inexperience, communication, organization, and I just think that that roster turnover, that kind of, there were so many times against Penn State where it was a miscommunication. In this one, it felt like in that transition, they just, they weren't sure where everyone was going to be. There were moments where, in transition, Mizzou is coming at SLU, and it feels like the Billiken defenders a little bit hesitant on whether to kind of dive in or keep backing up. Yeah. And I think that hesitation there is they recovered every time against Mizzou, but against a team like Penn State, that's where you see that really bite you in the ass. And to talk about the back line and the poor communication, the inexperience, the physicality and the skill of this team continue to impress me. I think, individually, these players are all having good games.
They are. And we had already talked last week, Hope Kim, how impressive she's been in terms of physicality. Emma Parker is one, to have a keeper with her size now. Some of the plays I thought she made in this Mizzou game really took advantage of her size and physicality. And I think we are seeing the gradual evolution of this team. As skilled and as good as they've been over the years, I know a big emphasis for Shields has been to get a little bit more size, speed, athleticism, some of the things where they have kind of given up an advantage over the years. We always talk about that Rutgers game, which I guess is like 4 seasons ago now.
Oh my God.
They've gradually built to where they can actually hang with those top 15 kind of teams now. Where you used to really see that separation. It was like, as good as we could be, there was just that threshold of like those top programs. We can't quite get there. And I think we are really seeing that start to bear fruit, that mission to sort of upgrade in that regard. So need to get that collection of talent to work together better. But yeah, I think we're definitely seeing that all over the field, to be honest.
I think that's an interesting thought kind of path to go down. And, the idea that you have as a mid-major, this program is not mid-major, but as a smaller school with not a lot of history, you don't have the big money to go out and get the best players. You see it in basketball. It's, undersized teams that are older, that play better together. They've been together a while. They have all these advantages to make up for the lack of size or strength or whatever you want to call it. Like, I find it interesting that plateau, that's a tougher jump than we can talk about it, but that's even if you can get that at those athletic players, you may not that changes the way your team is made up. And
For
I
sure.
think that's where I think coaches can get stuck and not be able to make that jump, not necessarily because they can't get those players, but because they can't fit that then into their style.
Yeah, that's a good point. You need to, if you're going to evolve your talent level, your roster, you do need to probably evolve your tactics to suit your roster, right? I mean, like you can't, if you're a system coach, if you're too locked into a system, you do risk some of the talent being misused. I don't think that's happening here at all. I think
No.
there's just a lot of new players playing together. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what this team looks like in a couple months compared to where they are right now.
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting thing that, we talk about how we just have to get better guys, but even when you get better guys, sometimes it's just not, it doesn't fit well. And that's where you can stagnate, I think, as a head coach. Next up for the women, they will take on Indiana on the 28th and then head to number 7 Iowa on Sunday, the 31st. It's a gauntlet.
It really is, Zach. I mean, as much as you would like to see a couple more cupcakes for this team to kind of get their legs under them, it's a tough schedule, and they're just going to have to deal with it. But hopefully that means by the time they get to the A10, they're ready to run through it.
There's a cupcake joke to be made there. I'll leave it. Pete, let's talk about 2 Men in a Garden, man. They're back and still as good as ever. They never left, actually.
They really are back, Zach. I raved last week about the wonderful weirdness of the smoky barbecue pickles. My wife was looking at me like I was crazy when she saw the label, and then she tried a couple and was kind of like, okay, I get it. I see what's going on here. But for me, I still think the best pickle buy on their website is those spears. It's a much bigger jar than the pickle chips. It's $1 more, but it's very much worth it. And I got one in my fridge right now, cooling in my fridge as we speak. Very excited to open this thing, to crack into it this week. Head on over to 2minutegarden.com, see what I'm talking about. Go get some pickles, try all the different varieties. You're not going to be disappointed. It's a really high quality product. And I have completely replaced the grocery store pickles that I buy with these, or that I used to buy, I guess I should say. There's nothing in a grocery store that's better than these. So 2minutegarden.com and tell them Midtown Madness sent you.
Pete, let's move on over to the men's side of the soccer field. I saw somebody complain about wasting time in soccer, time wasting.
Yeah.
And I just got to ask, like, you're wasting time at the end of every day too. What do you like? I mean, come on. In the last 30 minutes of work, you're not doing much.
Well, whoever was posting about wasting time was probably sitting there at work on their phone, right? I mean, like, it's probably not part of their job to complain about soccer players wasting time. So yeah, a little bit of irony in any post like that, I think. But Zach, how much? I don't know how much time wasting we actually saw in these first two games.
No, not a lot. Not a lot. That first game started with a 0-0 draw against South Florida on Thursday, the 21st. Pete, this wasn't exactly what you wanted to see from the Billikens in their their regular season opener and home opener.
No, and it's one of those things where, yeah, you just kind of like, I don't know. Again, there's a lot of new players playing together. You didn't think this was going to be like a 4-0 win or anything like that. but you still wanted the win nonetheless, going into
Yeah.
a really hard follow-up game.
Mhm.
South Florida, I'm just trying to look up like right now, like kind of where they were supposed to be this season.
I
think
don't
they're
think very
pretty
good.
I mean, I think they're competitive in their league, but the top of their league is actually really good. You know,
Yeah.
you've got Charlotte in that league, who's always really good, and
You got to
Floyd,
work on your
National,
internet.
Memphis. They're always pretty good. Missouri State is over in that league now,
Yeah.
so it actually is a pretty good soccer league. And I think South Florida is
About
just kind of
mid pack.
yeah, right. So anyway, all of that is to say, like I just really wanted this to be a win, and SLU had more opportunities. They outshot them 9-3, 4-1 in shots on goal. But it's just you got to score at some point in this game, right?
Yeah. I just, it's, I think the Billikens are lucky to get out of this one with a draw, considering kind of, I guess explain what happened there.
Explain what happened there.
Yeah.
So I mean, SLU basically kind of got lucky.
Oh, they
You
did.
know,
No,
on
they
an
did.
offside call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So late in the game, USF it got called offside. The flag probably shouldn't have gone up,
Nope.
and that could have been the difference in the game. I mean, a game that
Yeah.
statistically SLU was the better team. I think overall they were the better team. Just couldn't finish. Soccer is a cruel game like that, and this very easily could have swung the other way. So I think they were the beneficiaries, Zach, of a bad call there.
Yep. The game again finishes 0-0. Jack DiMaria again looks very, very good. He was great on set pieces. Billikens just couldn't finish. I mean, fouls were 17-10. South Florida had the lion's share. 8 corners for the Billikens, 2 for South Florida, Fournier and Heckenleibel. Yellow cards for the Billikens. We do these at the end of the week, and it's funny because we just decided we should start trying to recap the weekend, because we sit here and we complain. Like, it's hard to sit here and complain about the 0-0 draw against South Florida when you just finished watching the Billikens take down number 5 SMU by a score of 1-0 on Sunday the 24th. This was what you wanted. This is what you wanted to see in game 1.
Yeah, it is, Zach, and you're right. It's like I look at a 0-0 draw. There's not a whole lot of talking points from that one, except for maybe one call. And in this game, I think there's a lot to talk about. This was a really fun, well played 2-way game, I think.
Yeah, it was a good game. I thought SLU did well to play home team soccer in this one, especially early. They were on the front foot early. They controlled possession when they could. And they didn't just play possession soccer to have possession. Right. I thought they were pushing forward. You got the ball, they were going forward. Like, turn the ball over, go. They didn't, last year they did kind of they'd get possession and they'd keep it, right? And they were really good in how they picked and choose their spots. I thought in this one, they weren't necessarily high pressing, but they were putting SMU under pressure and forcing turnovers. I thought the Billikens did a really great job at closing down on the ball, the person with the ball with 2 defenders, without overcommitting and chasing SMU around. If SLU was a little more clinical in the first half on their counterattacks from turnovers, I mean, this could have been 2 or 3. Yes, we could belabor the scoring, but I mean, I thought SLU just flat out played a better game than South Florida in this one.
Yeah, than SMU.
Oh yeah.
The goal came in the 13th minute. Andrew Heckenleibel, Theo Franca got the ball with his back to the goal, about 30 yards out. He had a defender right on him, who seemed to give him kind of a little shove. It was a weird play because Franca's legs kind of went apart, right? And he started to fall over, and the ball went to Heckenleibel, who was running towards him, and then ran by him, with the ball. Whether he meant to dump the ball off to him or if he was just kind of trying to draw that foul call, I don't know.
I'll give him it. That was intentional.
Yeah. So Heckenleibel just kind of dribbled in and barely squeaked the ball past the keeper. There was a lot of traffic on his run. I wasn't sure if he'd get that shot off. He got through about 3 defenders. He had one chasing on the left. He kind of had to weave through 2 more. It was a really impressive, precise run to get that goal in. And when he started the run, I thought I think there's a little too much to get through here. I don't think he's got it, especially because the goalie had an angle on him and everything. But it wound up being a pretty impressive finish there.
Yeah, it's exactly what you need as a team who just really can't score. Is you need a player to go take the ball and do the thing. Just go do it. Go get us a goal.
He didn't make something out of nothing, but I don't know what the XG on that goal would have been. It was not very high relative to some of the other goals that the opportunities that both teams missed throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, a really nice little outside of the foot tap finish. The best opportunity for the Mustangs came 42 minutes in when the Billiken defense got caught overcommitting, and SMU was able to get a shot off that sailed high over the bar, and that came off the heels of a shot on net, punched away by Abinell, only to be headed right back at him and tipped over the bar by Abinell. They did, however, have better chances earlier than that, Pete, including one in the first few minutes of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been 1-0 really early. I think this was in the 2nd or 3rd minute. SMU got open, some nice kind of back and forth. Had it at the edge of the 6-yard box. Should have gone far post where it was a little more open. Abinell had kind of the inner half sealed off, and they went near post and missed. And then SLU had a free kick in the 19th minute of the second half. Got a couple players in deep, hit the crossbar near off the far post. I think the keeper's hand got a piece of it, but that wasn't even the last time they hit the crossbar, Zach. I mean, there were some good opportunities late in this game.
Yeah, there were some great opportunities for SMU as well. Grady Easton made an unbelievable, one of the ballsiest sliding challenges I've seen that was deep in the Billiken third. If he doesn't make this tackle with every ounce of confidence in his ability to get there, he hesitates, and it's PK, and this game's tied.
Yep. Really, really impressive, confident play. The other defender and Abinell knew it right away too.
Yeah.
You could see in their body language they were just they were thrilled with the tackle. They thought it was great.
The
so everybody kind of helped sell it there. Yeah.
The tackles were great in this one, I thought, by the Billiken backline, especially. O'Neal was fun in this one. I really like what O'Neal brought the last couple games. He hit a piss rocket off the crossbar in the 76th minute. I thought that was in.
Yeah, the second time in the second half that SLU hit the crossbar, and this one was a lot more. I don't know if you'd call it dangerous. Yeah, I guess I'd call it dangerous. I mean, it was just like you said, he crushed the ball. It wasn't some kind of crowded in front of the net stuff like the other one was.
No, I thought this could be either a wake-up call for SMU or it would energize SLU. And to be honest, I don't know shit. So neither of those things happened.
No, not really.
It was just kind of, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Shots were 14, SMU, SLU 7. It didn't really seem like that much of a disparity, but that's how it went. Shots on goal 5-2. Corners were 5-5. Fouls on SMU 19, SLU 10. It did seem like more on SLU. It seemed like more fouls overall. This was a really chippy, physical game. 4 total yellow cards. Again, probably could have been more. 2 on each team, and SLU's were on Grady Easton and Abdul Karim Pare. But Zach, I give credit to SLU for not just parking the bus when they were up 1-0 late. They played a full 90-minute game. They never stopped going for that second goal. I mean, they were charging 87th, 88th minute. They were going for it. Only in the last minute did you see some of the kind of Abinell really taking his time to set up a goal kick and stuff like that. But but by then they pretty much had it. So I really liked the way that they played this game. I thought it was a great team effort for 90 minutes.
By the way, the Billikens beating SMU 1-0 ends Southern Methodist's 42 game streak with at least one goal.
Oh, wow.
SMU had not
shut out in years.
They had not been shut out in years. This was the first time
That's
that
crazy.
they had been shut out. This is the first. I'm trying to see when the last time they were shut out was. The last time they were shut out, let's look. It would have to be 2023 at least.
Okay.
It would be they were no, I don't think they gave up nope, 22. This is bad radio. And that was, let's see. They lost. That's just funny. The last time that they were shut out was in the American Athletic Conference Championship Tournament semifinals against number 3 seed South Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In 2022. So yep. South Florida, by the way, they were tied in third in the preseason poll.
Yeah.
Charlotte, number 1, Florida International, number 2, Memphis, South Florida tied in third, and then Missouri State 5th. So that really is a good league. Florida Atlantic, UAB, Tulsa, Temple, rounding out the bottom. That's a good soccer conference, and South Florida is a good team. So, respect to them, but I still wanted to beat them.
I think the question then becomes, is SMU on the downward trajectory? Are they at the end of that run?
Yeah, of being a great national program.
Or are the Billikens just that good this year? I like to think it's the latter.
I'd like to think it's the latter. It could be both.
It's always somewhere in the middle.
Fine, but yeah, if you beat a number 5 team, you want them to be good the rest of the way, right?
Yes.
So that just keeps looking better and better.
So the rap on Kalish's Billiken program since the Elite Eight has been an inability to finish. They exert their superiority in almost every game, yet cannot find a way to break teams down in the final third. Did we answer that question in the first 2 games?
I don't think so. I think it's, I think that's still inconclusive. Scored 1 goal, in 2 games here. So I think that remains to be seen. Yeah, not answered yet.
Di Maria continues to impress, Pete.
He is really, really precise on his passing. Mm-hmm. And so many times he'll let go of a ball and you see what he's doing. And it either doesn't get to the guy or the player does not, the player on the receiving end doesn't make as much of it as he could. But it's the service is not the issue. I mean, that he's really, really got a good instinct for serving guys up. Yeah,
I think he's a freshman, right? I think, he just looks so talented and poised when he's involved in a play, not just on the ball. Yeah. It just feels like he's present and he's with it and he's even keel. So I am excited to watch his development over this year as well as this team, because I think this team, they're showing the defense obviously held, they stopped a 42 game goal streak.
Yeah.
So, next up, they will welcome Seton Hall to town Saturday, August 30th. Get out to check out this team. They're doing good things so far.
Yeah, they really are. They look like they're going to be fun this season. So, I don't know. I'm excited, Zach. This was a really fun night of SLU soccer.
Yes, it was. Women's basketball. They have added she will join the program as an assistant coach and director of basketball operations.
Yeah, that's China Latimer.
Not that China.
Not that China. So yeah, assistant coach in DBO. She was served in a similar role last season at UMass Lowell. She actually won an A10 title early in her playing career at George Washington,
It's
but then
kind of weird. She followed Paul Otieno. Oh no, he was at Quinnipiac.
he was a
Shit.
Quinnipiac, different Northeastern school. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she won an A title at GW as a freshman, transferred to Delaware, where she got her undergraduate degree in criminal justice, finished up at Ball State, where she got a master's in public administration, played a little professionally in Ireland and Germany, and then got into coaching. So she's young. I guess assistant and DBO. She's probably the lowest assistant right now. But I didn't even realize they were still trying to fill out the staff.
Apparently, they're still trying to fill out the roster too.
Yeah, Zach, we just got word. Laisha Lazou, the transfer from San Jacinto College, entered the transfer portal earlier this month and has been removed from the official roster per Stu Durando.
I love how quickly they do that.
I just confirmed that, yeah, she is indeed not on the roster, and the roster is just 12 players. She was at the open practice in mid-July and was in social media posts for most of the summer, but I did notice that the last few posts that they had the whole team only showed 11 players. One was from a workout, one was from the athlete welcome back dinner, and you just figure like, okay, maybe somebody's just not in frame at the time or had another obligation or whatever. But that's not the case. She's gone. And I think it's important to remember, Zach, that SLU opted to use less than all 15 scholarships this season, right? They started with 13 players, so now they're down to 12 just a month before Billiken Madness. And they don't really have capacity for injuries or other departures or anything like that. They're going to be it's going to be a tricky season with a short roster.
I want like this story to be something where she identity theft or like impersonating. So I want this to be like some like insane story about how she was playing under an assumed identity and that wasn't. I don't know. I just think that would be the most ridiculous possible thing that could happen.
I mean, except that like she was there on campus, right? Like
I know. They find out she's like 47, like something like that. They're just be funny.
I have no idea what's going on there. I really don't know.
Is this which player was this again?
So she went to a JUCO out in California. Yeah. I remember at the time being like, okay, like she seems like an intriguing role player, but once again is not like, like we were looking for scoring, for example, and she wasn't much of a scorer, like under 10 points a game, but a really good rebounder, and she was kind of like more of a wing. So I was intrigued with her as a role player. Like I thought she had good size, athleticism, things like that for a wing. Rebound, almost 12 rebounds a game as a sophomore in JUCO. And so I kind of thought like, okay, like good role player here. Let's see what she can do. And maybe she can grow into more of a scoring role, but I guess we'll never know. I have no idea why she left. But Women's Basketball Blog has her like as having entered the portal. So I guess she preserves this year of eligibility. I don't know. Really odd.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, May 31st. Yeah, very weird. Very weird. Continues. Yeah. Just that seems to be par for the course.
I don't know what's going on, but yeah, not a great sign.
Volleyball. The Billikens were picked to finish 6th in the A10, which is where they finished last season. They have got to do better than that.
Yep.
Again, Dayton was picked to win the league with 10 first place votes. No surprise there. VCU was picked 2nd, followed by Loyola. Again, this league got better. Loyola. Yep. Then it went Davidson, GW, SLU, Duquesne, George Mason, Rhode Island, and Fordham. The Billikens have to be better than Davidson and George Washington. They just have to be, especially in non-rev sports. You have to sit top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
The exhibition match against SIUE Saturday the 23rd. SLU said up front this game would not feature stats or stream, and sure enough, it was invite only. I'm just kidding. I don't. Yeah, they head to Evansville, 29th and 30th, where they'll play Valpo, Southern Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. Pete, run us down field hockey, cross country, and an interesting night with Billiken baseball.
Yeah, Zach, field hockey, their final exhibition game will be against Maryville on Thursday, the 28th. And then cross country, their first meet is the Mizzou cross country opener on Friday, the 29th out in Columbia. Baseball, Zach, has a fundraiser dinner with Jose Canseco, hosted by Dan McLaughlin. That is a fun bill. I don't know. That seems worth it.
Imagine a night out at Napoli 10 years ago with those two.
Ooh, man. I 10 years ago, maybe I could have hung with them for a little bit, but no, I'm not the way I am now. No way. That would have been fun though. I mean, I don't know. I'm liking this. September 4th, Olive and Oak, dinner, drinks, and photos. It's $500 a person. Again, it's a fundraiser for baseball.
If anybody would like to take me as their date, I am a very good date. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
Pete talks to me on the phone for 2 hours every Sunday night. I'm an okay guy to hang out with. I promise.
Yeah, I would love to go to this. Unfortunately, it is a weeknight, and I'm not going to be making it back to St. Louis. Laura, sorry, you're gonna have to handle the kids for the next 24 hours. I'm going back to St. Louis for a $500 dinner with Jose Canseco. I don't know how well that would go over, but I'm guessing not very.
Well, did you mention that Dan McLaughlin's going to be there?
You know,
that could tip it. That could tip the scales.
She has been with me long enough to know that she just probably wouldn't want me in that environment.
No,
probably not. She wouldn't see me for a few days.
She sees what happens when you go to a craft brewery opening. Place called Olive and Oak. Oh shit.
Olive and Oak is very good. It's attached to one of my favorite craft breweries too. So
of course there's a craft brewery nearby and you know about it.
Oh, it's Perennial, man. Perennial's good.
Just getting you a sick IPA, bro. All right.
You'll learn someday.
Pete, I don't know. Whether you're drinking a Michelob Ultra or I don't know, give me a really ridiculous craft beer. Give me one.
I just had a side project double barrel derivation.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.